So, Chris, today we're going to discuss some of the questions that you should be asking a real estate agent, whether you're buying or selling. So, as you know, we're in the spring season and we're quickly approaching the summer, which means a lot of people are starting to finally make that big decision to, pull the trigger and either buy or sell real estate. So, my first question is, if I'm a buyer, let's say, looking to hire a real estate agent, what are some of the things that I should be asking that agent to make sure they're a good fit? And if you could elaborate on why those questions are so important.
Yeah, so that's a great question. Heading into springtime, there's obviously going to be a lot of competition. There's a lot of buyers that are thinking about buying a home right now. A lot of people that are currently, living in an apartment, they've got leases expiring and they're in must-buy situations. One of the most important questions that I would ask if I was a buyer is, to my agent is, are you able to find inventory or homes for sale that aren't listed for sale officially yet? In other words, can you find a list of properties coming soon? So if an agent can find a list of coming soon properties for you, it's going to give you as a buyer a competitive advantage because you won't get into a situation where you're in a multiple offer situation, right? So whenever you get multiple offers, the price typically is going to sell above market value. So if you can get in and see the house and make an offer before anyone else, it can give you a competitive advantage to make sure you're not overpaying for the home. And so I think in today's market, especially with the economy being really good and homes selling really quickly, it's really important you partner with an agent that's got a roster of homes that are not yet in the MLS publicly listed for sale. So that's the first thing I would want to ask of an agent. The second thing I would ask is what if I don't like the house? Like, what if I buy this home and I have massive buyer's remorse? Me anything. So, for example, one of the really cool things about working with our company is we have this love it or leave it program where if within 12 months of buying the home, if you're unhappy for any reason, we'll sell it at no cost to you. Literally, we won't take a dime of commission. There are some closing costs and fees, but we personally, our company will not take a dollar. And so we'll sell it without taking a commission. And, that kind of helps, I think help a lot of buyers overcome that fear of the unknown. Some of the other important questions I think for any agent is, do you have a team of people behind you, or are you a one-man band all by yourself? And what I mean by that is, being a real estate agent, a lot of the typical agents out there have to do a lot of different things. They're, trying to market themselves. They're out showing property. They're trying to do, the paperwork for managing a transaction. They're, trying to call the lender to keep up with the bank. They're calling the title company. They're calling the other realtor. There's a lot of moving parts to a transaction. And so, imagine, just something simple like how hard would it be for you to answer your phone if you're a one-man band agent and you don't have a team that backs you up? And so I'll just give you, just to tell you why I think that's important. Typically salespeople are great communicators, great negotiators, but they're not really good at the details. And so if you can hire an agent that has a team that backs them and there's people behind the scenes helping with like the implementation of the home buying process and kind of tag teaming things with the buyer's agent that's representing the buyer, they're going to have a better experience. The agent can just focus on what they do best, which is finding deals, negotiating deals. And then ideally they have like a transaction coordinator behind the scenes helping assist them that's calling the title company, calling the lender, calling the listing agent representing the seller. And then, maybe they've got other people available ideally that can help like at a moment's notice go show a property. So like, for example, on our team, we have a showing assistant. And I think most buyers might be like, well, isn't that what a realtor is supposed to do? And yes, that's what they're supposed to do. But, if you're out showing clients, for example, to, showing homes to some clients one afternoon and, this house hits the market and your other client's like, hey, super hot house, perfect house, meets my criteria, super hot neighborhood, like we need to go see this right now and get an offer in, and you're out showing property somewhere else, like you're not going to be able to, help, satisfy the requirements of your client to get out there quickly and get an offer in before it gets into a multiple offer situation. So that's an advantage of having a team of people. So I think a great question to ask any agent you're going to work with is are you a one-man band? Do you do everything and you're the only person I'm going to be working with? Or are there also people behind the scenes helping you make sure this is a smooth process? So those are really the three big things: the coming soon inventory, a team of people helping back them, and the other thing I mentioned is like, what if the buyer doesn't like the house? Do you have any kind of special program where you won't take a commission to sell the home? Believe it or not, most realtors don't do that. They're going to turn around and charge you, the typical 6 to 7% to sell your house. So that's something we offer at no additional cost to our clients, and it's kind of like an insurance policy for buyer's remorse. So, anyways, those are three really good ones that I recommend everybody ask their agent.
Okay, cool. So on the flip side, if I'm a seller, what are some of the questions that I should be asking an agent so that I can be confident that I'm going to be getting the best deal for my home? And if you can elaborate on those questions as well.
Yeah, great question. So if I'm interviewing agents, first off is, I think the common belief might be asking somebody how long have they been in business. And I've met agents that have been in business 20 years and they sold like 2 homes last year. So, imagine being a doctor or some other professional and like you only get exposure to the market, every couple months. Like you're just not going to be as refined in your skills and the process and your market knowledge. So I think a really important question to ask is when someone, specifically on the listing side, when an agent's going to represent you in the sale of the house, is how many homes did you sell personally? How many did you personally close on and sell in the previous 12 months? And on the listing side, there's so many things that can go wrong. Like a lot of the contracts, for example, in taxes are skewed towards the buyer. So you really want a really savvy listing agent representing you. And, you also ideally want someone that's got some resources behind them to spend on advertising. In my opinion, one of the main differentiators between any realtor is who's going to do more to market the house and get buyers in the door. And so if you've got an agent, for example, that only sold, 3, 4, 5, 10 homes last year, they're not going to have the financial resources to market your home properly. So in my opinion, I think any agent you interview needs to sell a minimum of 30 homes in the previous 12 months. And that, is going to help you. And that's on the listing side specifically. They need to have represented 30 clients on the listing side specifically, because then that'll give you a gauge of how experienced they are on the listing side, which is much different than the buyer side. And obviously they're having some moderate success, and so they'll have a little bit of the financial resources behind them. So I think that's number one is how many homes did you sell last year? Another common myth is people want to ask if you're a neighborhood specialist, and the neighborhood specialist term, that's total BS. Neighborhood specialist is just a marketing tactic for you to try to get people to call you. Basically, there is a very systematic process to pricing homes. And so, it's a function of looking at what's active on the market, what just went pending sale, what's sold, what's failed to sell. And here's probably one of the most important questions you can ask as a seller around pricing is, what is the absorption rate in my neighborhood and in my specific price range? So what's really like mind-blowing about like the greater Austin market is you can go from, for example, in Austin, Texas, like the core of Austin, you can look at homes that are priced between 400,000 and 500,000, and it is this crazy seller's market, like crazy seller's market. There's no homes on the market, stuff's flying off the shelf in that price range, and there's literally no inventory, and it's appreciating like crazy. But then you go out in the suburbs and you go out to, for example, Pflugerville, north of 400,000, and it's not even close to a seller's market. In fact, the market's really weak. And so you flip from being a seller's market to a buyer's market, and the pricing is really stagnant. If not, it's going down a little bit. especially in those higher price points in the suburbs. So a critical question to ask around pricing is, what is the absorption rate in my neighborhood? And if a realtor can't tell you that, you need to run, because they have no idea where the market's trending. And I think it's dinosaur thinking to rely on past sold comps only and just look at what's selling in the neighborhood. Like, that is dinosaur thinking. That's like the foundation. But you need to look at where the market's moving forward, because, like, let's say, for example, the market's shifting down. You don't want to price your home up here if the market's shifting down, because in 2 weeks the market value is here and your price up here. So you end up chasing the market down. You don't want to do that. You want to be slightly ahead of the market it's going down. Or on the flip side, if you're in a market that's like rapidly going up in value, you want to make sure you squeeze every dollar of equity and profit out of that. So if it's skewing up, you want to make sure you're priced a little bit above to make sure you can take advantage of that appreciation that's occurring as your house sits on the market. So those are the big key takeaways for sellers is, ask them what the absorption rate is, ask them how many transactions they did, and then the third thing is, ask for a copy of their marketing plan. What are they going to do to market the house? So some examples would be like, are they a premier agent on Zillow? Are they actually spending money on Zillow? Are they spending money on Realtor.com? Are they going to build you a website? Do they have anything unique to really differentiate the house? Are they going to come up with really fancy brochures? Are they going to do Facebook marketing for your listing? Are they going to create a website and drive traffic to that website for your home through Google AdWords? Are they going to do any press releases to the realtor community? Like, these are all like hot button things that you need to be doing above and beyond just putting it in the MLS and sticking a for sale sign in the yard. So ask for a copy of their marketing plan, and make sure they're taking advantage of all the tools today that are going to help get buyers in their door. Because ultimately the price of your home, it's just a function of supply and demand. And our job as agents is to drive demand. And so if we can drive massive demand, that's going to get you the highest price possible. So anyways, those are my top three for buyers and sellers.
Okay, awesome. Well, this has been some really great information, and I'm sure the viewers have found it useful. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we end the broadcast?
No, I think this is going to be posted on our video blog. And so if anybody's, looking to find out what their home is worth, at the top of our video blog, we have a home valuation tool where you can find out what your home is worth just instantly online. It'll give you a low end and a high end range, so you know roughly what your home is worth. If you want to get a really precise number, you want us to do the absorption rate calculation, so you know exactly, how to get the maximum price. You'll definitely want to give us a call. And then if you're thinking about buying a home on our site, we have our coming soon inventory. So that's all the stuff that's not publicly listed for sale. We've also got in our office a record of all of the distressed sales, which are very hard to come by. And so some of this stuff you won't even find in the MLS. And so that's some stuff we can share with you too. So yeah, I look forward to hearing feedback from people and answering any questions that might come in.
If somebody would like to contact you or your team, how can they go about doing that?
So, you can go to our website. It's ChristopherWatters.com. Our phone number is right there at the top right-hand corner. We've also got a live chat person, like literally live chat. I mean, it's not a robot. And you can ask any questions on there. And we've got lots of cool reports. If you want to find out how to maximize the sales price of your home, how to get it staged. We've got another great kind of white paper report on there about how to make sure you get the best deal possible when negotiating for the purchase of your new home. So go to our website, ChristopherWatters.com, and reach out to us via chat or give us a call.
All right, awesome. Sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for having me.